This is Dr. Beth Corbo, and we're going to spend a little time reviewing Chapter 5 of Speech to Print. In the third edition, Dr. Moats has graciously offered sets of PowerPoint slides to reinforce each chapter. We're going to use a few of these slides to review parts of Chapter 5. Let's get started. Dr. Moats tells us that a morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit of language. Words are made up of one or more morphemes. As in the examples on this slide, teacher, the word teacher, has two morphemes, teach plus er. Teachers, 3, teach, er, and s. Water has just one morpheme. Watered has two morphemes, water and ed. We know that morphological knowledge enhances vocabulary development, word recognition, spelling, and reading comprehension. Morphological knowledge is associated with overall language proficiency. Recognition of morpheme structure helps us distinguish the meanings and spellings of words that sound very much alike. Speech to print teaches us that morphemes can be sorted into two basic categories, free or bound. Free morphemes can stand alone as words. Bound morphemes work as meaningful units only when combined with other morphemes. Bound morphemes can be either affixes, roots, or Greek combining forms. There are two kinds of affixes, derivational and inflectional. Inflectional suffixes do not change the part of speech of the word. Derivational, on the other hand, change the part of speech of the word to which they are added. How to recognize a morpheme? Well, there are some questions that can be asked when applying morphemic analysis. Can meaningful linguistic units be recognized and defined? Do we know other words in which a given morpheme is used? And what is the sense of the whole word in its context? Word specific, not just the sum of their morphemes. For example, beware of the little words in big words. Because sometimes words appear to have morphemes but don't have meaningful linguistic units within. You can see some examples of this on the slide. Understanding morphemes can help you analyze your students' spelling errors. You can see with this group of words that have inflectional suffixes that they are not understood by the writer. The words in the derivational suffix category also show a lack of understanding regarding common suffixes. Without this understanding of meaningful units of these words, spelling errors can easily happen. Understanding the common roots in base words also helps spell multisyllabic and multimorphemic words like those in the slide. Let's think about helping English language learners. Teach common morphemes explicitly with attention to word pronunciation, spelling, and meaning. If cognates exist, they can be really helpful, especially those in Spanish. Here are some examples on the slide. English learners may need more examples of words use in context and need a lot of practice pronouncing the stress alternations in morphemically related words. And thinking about instruction, note that the study of morphology aids a student's abilities to spell and read longer words. And during the explicit instruction of morphology, make sure to follow a progression from easier to more complex word forms. Teach the meaning, spelling, and pronunciation of each morpheme. Practice decoding, reading, and using sets of morphemically related words. And use the new words in sentence and passage context, practicing as much as necessary. I really like that Moats has provided us with a progression from easier to more complex. She starts with Anglo-Saxon compounds to be taught, then high frequency and transparent prefixes, inflectional suffixes, common suffixes beginning with a consonant, common suffixes beginning with a vowel, Latin prefixes, Latin roots, assimilated prefixes and Latin plurals, and then finally Greek combining forms with special spelling correspondences. Some other considerations. Begin with prefixes and or suffixes that do not change the form of the root and that have transparent or obvious meanings, like re and un. First, introduce Latin roots that are in many words, that are generative, and that are easily to recognize, like port or form. Teach or review orthographic change rules when suffixes are added, like doubling, silent E, changing Y to I. And teach Greek combining forms in the context of math and science vocabulary. Remember that morphemes and syllables are not the same thing. Please take a minute to look at this list. How many syllables in loathsome? How many morphemes? How many syllables in handsome? How many morphemes in watchdog? In mistletoe? In biodegradable? You've had a minute to look at those. Now let's look at the answers and take a minute to look at each of these and compare the number of the morphemes to the syllables. Remember, they are not the same. Thank you so much for listening to this quick review of Chapter 5.